All right, another reason I wanted to have Dave on this particular podcast was the fact that we've both run jam nights for maybe too long now. But my last jam night that I ran, I actually handballed it off to another friend of ours, Alex, who's been on the channel, and also Dave, he does the other week. So you guys sort of do week on, week off, which is a whole lot better than, in my opinion, at least than doing it every single week all of the time, which is what I've been roped into a few times over the years. I'm not roped into, I opted to do it, but I realized, man, it can be like fun, and it can also be kind of stressful as well. So yeah, I just thought maybe we could have a chat about how the other side of the jam nights work from someone who's organizing it as opposed to just turning up and expecting to play with all of their friends all of the time.
Yeah, interesting topic.
Yeah.
I guess probably you got to start off with, you call this working? On one hand, yeah, look, you're involved with music. How can it not be good?
Yeah.
Anything to do with music's usually pretty good. But, yep, frustrations, challenges, and difficulties, issues. I mean, it's what makes people come to a jam? Well, you've got a whole bunch of people that pretty well didn't know each other that rock up and jump up and play with total, I was going to say perfect strangers. Not necessarily perfect, but strangers anyways.
Yeah.
So you kind of got to continuously keep that in mind. What makes people come? Well, so they can get something out of it.
Mm-hmm. It's a creative outlet.
Creative outlet. Again, that desire to just enjoy music. Mm-hmm. I think everyone who goes to those has that desire to get additional enjoyment.
Yeah.
And that's enjoyment that your average Joe Blow out there doesn't get. In other words, people who don't play an instrument.
Yeah, I think about that a lot, actually, like for people who don't have music or any sort of thing like it, any creative outlet. It must be weird, you know.
They must work in IT.
Yeah. Yeah, there we go. We're the anomaly. Actually, we know a few IT guys, but anyway, yeah.
It's typically you can't win. No matter what happens, someone's not going to be happy. That's in an evening.
Well said.
You've always got to put a bunch of people together, and then you've got to mix things up, and you got to get a mix of people who are going to produce something, both so they get something out of it, and so the audience doesn't start walking out.
Yeah, absolutely.
So you can't continuously.
Yeah.
It is a juggling act.
Yeah.
And then you're challenged by who's there and what's there.
Yeah.
Not enough vocalists.
Mm-hmm.
Every now and then, there are no drummers.
No, that's it.
I mean, look, you jump up, and actually you're pretty damn good on drums. That was quite impressive that one time.
I was a drummer in a former life, I reckon.
Yeah. When there aren't enough vocalists, and let's not kid ourselves, in a jam, everything typically revolves around what a vocalist can deliver.
Yeah, it's that set
and that's
leader.
the biggest limitation.
Yeah,
it's the biggest limitation. It's not just in terms of song selection, but also in terms of key selection. When all of a sudden vocalist says, I want to play this song that everybody might know, but I play it in this key.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden it's, oh, shit, I can't play it in that key.
Yeah.
I mean, and people, not everyone can transpose on the fly.
No, it's not easy to do unless it's a 3 or 4 chord song. It's actually pretty challenging.
Some people just find it difficult.
Mm-hmm. This is the strange thing about the jam is you get different level and caliber of players, and you sometimes want to get some of the great players together, and other times you want to encourage some of the guys who might not be as strong to also play with the good players. But I always looked at it like trying to kick the night off strong, irrespective of who got there first. I used to just do it in order, and then I was like, no, I think the best thing to do is sort of, work out what's the best couple of first sets we can get, and then also mixing it in. But then it almost looks like you're taking, you're picking favorites as well. So that's tough. I remember, some people not missing out, but getting a shot later because you want to keep some of the players that might not turn up a lot who are really well-known musos. You might want to give them a good shot so they come back and the standard stays up. So there's this weird sort of Yeah, it's an interesting sort of thing to do when you run a jam. You got to try and balance all of that. And you're right. Every week, someone wasn't happy when I ran it.
I find exactly the same.
Yeah.
And look, a lot of times you try to explain to people, okay, it's limited because of vocals or because of insufficient number of drummers or lack of bass players. Or did anybody mention keyboards players? No, we never see any keyboards players.
You don't get any harmonica players either, which is awesome. Sorry, harp players.
Well, actually, that's the other thing with jams. I mean, overplaying.
Yeah.
When people come to have a jam, people jump on and basically they just want to play. And people often don't tend to have that discipline or they lose control, and there's often a lot of overplaying rather than people sitting back and letting each instrument shine when it's their turn.
I don't know if that's a nerves thing or whether it's just an inexperienced thing or whether it's a combination of both.
No, I reckon it's probably just most people haven't gone through a musical situation where somebody tells them, no, don't do that.
Yeah, yeah.
And explain to them why they shouldn't do that sort of thing. Mm-hmm. And if they don't experience that, you don't learn.
Yeah.
You don't learn. I mean, it is beneficial to go through that, no matter how harsh it might sound. You kind of learn the do's and the don'ts that help in your journey. And it is a journey. I mean, when you ever look at sort of people that turn up to jams, people who are absolute beginners to people who are so damn good. Sometimes some of these jams are so good you think you should be paying $150 for tickets to go and see this.
Yeah.
It really is like that, as good as that sometimes. And then the challenge is to find the balance in between that, like I said, so everyone keeps coming back.
Yeah, and I think that's the thing that a lot of jams don't think about as well. Like I've traveled a lot and I've been to jams overseas, and sometimes, I mean, it could go either way. It could be like, all right, this is our rhythm section for the night, mostly, unless one guy jumps off, another drummer will come up. Everyone runs it in a different way. Like my friend Ed in San Francisco, he hires like a rhythm section. He hires a drummer and a bass player every jam night. And if someone jumps up on drums and they're bad, they get one shot. They're brutal over there. It's like one song, done. That's it. Like he'd be like, bro, off. But that jam's been going for so long, and I tell you what, every Sunday night or Monday night or whatever it is over there, it's packed and people are dancing and everything, and it's like, and the reason people keep coming back is because the standard's great, you know. Like, and I think, or he forces the standard to be as high as it can be on any particular night.
Yeah,
having a core kind of group or band, not to play all night, but they're there just in case. And there's never really a time where the bass player will be off if the drummer's off at the same time. There'll be one on, you know, at any particular time. I think that kind of helps it as well. And you're like that too. That's what I like about you. You're at the jam, even though I keep trying to tell Dave to play more guitar. If you're on bass, we're like, oh, all right, we're good. Doesn't matter who the drummer is. At least I got someone who can help carry the set.
I kind of try. When I try to put sets together, I do try to make sure, if I can, that at least the back line is kind of as solid as can be.
Yeah.
If you've got two or three people who know the material, there's a better chance of it working pretty well. Mm-hmm. But if there's only one person that might know a song, then that you know it's going to be a disaster.
Yeah. Like Sweet Child of Mine the other week, remember? It's like, I can't remember who started that. Was it Rick?
Would have been Rick.
Yeah. Like Rick knows all the songs, right? His brain is crazy. And I think he knew where the key change was. And I think everyone didn't know there was a key change. And someone's just gone, was it you that mentioned that? It says, oh, wait for the key change?
No, it wasn't me.
I can't remember who said it. But it was just like derailed something shocking after that. But it wasn't too bad. But yeah, I think with the jams especially, like people overextend everybody's musical knowledge as well. Like some vocalists will turn up and they'll go, oh, I've got a book full of songs, and you know, they might pick some random song none of us have ever heard. You know, and this is the best call of all time. When the singer that has a book in front of them with all the lyrics goes, okay, what are the chords? Oh, just follow the drummer. It's like, what do we do with that? So yeah, it can be it can be an interesting time being a participant in that situation, but also trying to make a set like that function as an organizer as well.
Then a whole bunch of other challenges. I mean, when the gaps in between sets are too long, when it takes too long to set up, when it takes too long to pack up.
Yeah.
The whole thing between having a set backline, just come and use these amp versus come and use your own amps and pedals. And
no, you're right.
There's no better or worse situation. It's just whichever option you take, you just got to make it work.
No, well, that's it. And also, as you were saying, like some people take ages to set up, and because they're there all the time, it's hard to really keep grilling them. You know what I mean? Like people don't want to be in that position where they're constantly getting nagged. But the funny thing is, and I know I'm guilty of this with you, and I see other guys, everyone will just start like complaining to you about it. Instead of just telling, hey, hurry up.
Look,
it's like, Dave, what are you doing, man?
As the organiser, you cop it.
Yeah.
Again, goes back to that whole thing. You can't win. Mm-hmm. No matter what happens, no matter how good it is, there'll be somebody in the evening who will not have enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Because somebody got 3 shots, they might have only got 1 shot. And look, that's understandable, but...
Hey, they got a shot the week before. That's our new line for people at the jam now. They got to play the week before. That counts as a play the following week. No, it can be a challenging and frustrating thing to organise. But when the nights are good, it's worth it. Sometimes you get those, like I was saying with Rick and Ryan, sometimes you get those magical sets or nights where, hey, everyone's listening, people are playing well, and that's what makes it worth it. But how long have you been doing that now? Is it 2 years?
2 or 3 years.
Yeah.
2 or 3 years.
And I remember I had to fill in, I think once, and maybe a second time.
Yeah.
I did it once, and I didn't miss it at all, man. I really didn't miss running it. I like just turning up and having a play. How's it feel doing it for an extended period of time?
Look, it is much easier when you share the responsibility.
Yeah.
If you need to do something, you can have that particular night off.
Yep.
Whereas if you're doing it by yourself, you've always got to find someone to fill in, and that's not that easy. Mm-hmm. So it is much, much easier to have that backup. But just, I think something else. Do you play golf?
No, I like it, but I can't play it.
Have you ever played?
I've tried. I suck at it.
1 shot in 100, when you hit that ball and you hear that ping and you see the ball take off, and that's why you keep coming back. It's the same with music.
Yeah. Well said.
That 1 set in 100 that's just magnificent.
Yeah.
Thanks for watching the In the Blues podcast. Subscribe for more episodes.